done all my Ticket to Ride things this morning, and if you don't follow Ticket to Ride, check them out because there's something cooking, and it could be really cool if it actually happens. But I'm going outside. I'm going outside like it's a new thing. The guy I was going to meet on Friday or another day last week didn't happen, but I'm going to meet him now because, well, we couldn't meet up because he just had a kid, so obviously was a little bit busy. I mean, people say it's not the weather, it's the wrong clothing, but I prefer to wear less clothing. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I like the sunshine, I like board shorts, I like no shoes. Although these boots are quite nice, but anyway. I apologise for the wind, but it's always good to come out to Towie and on a high tide tower as well and just see a bunch of people sitting there. They're learning, it's fine. They'll learn not to do that in the future, basically. A quick in and out, because I need to go to the shop and I have nothing in the house to eat. Where is my bag for life? There it is. Amazing chat with Pindy. He does a lot of car photography. Really good photographer. So it's just really nice to chat to him and get his 2 cents on the industry and the business and how to approach people, how to chat to them. And the biggest thing I got was also how to just pitch to clients. And for the longest time, I mean, like even nowadays, I felt that personal projects and cool ideas were a waste of time because I'm now freelance and I need to find paid clients. From what Pindy was saying, his name's Lewis. If you have these cool ideas, you can make them into a pitch to a brand, to a client, and basically say, here's what I'd love to do, here's the idea, here's what we can produce for you in terms of deliverables. And he was like, sometimes they'll be like, nah, sometimes they'll be like, sick, this is a great idea, because we would spend thousands of pounds on like a 15-man shoot, but you're saying you could do this with you or just 2 people, and all we give you is a car or whatever the idea is. I like what I'm doing now, which is meeting people and getting their advice, and I'm glad that I'm finding people in the area that are willing to share and help. Already he's got a shoot coming up that's been postponed. He might need an assistant for, which he said he would message me about, which is great because now I can actually see how he works and how a bigger shoot with bigger production can look, and all I'm gonna do there is help him with lights or help him with things and just assist, and that's epic. So I'm in a good mood. Up and down, such as this fucking industry. Apologies for my language. I don't know if anyone else gets this in their business, but when people ask you for help and then you offer that help and then you also say it'll cost you this much, and then they go, oh, we actually don't need that help. Because I got a message from a potential client today. I was like, absolutely, I can help you out with that. Let me just move around some things. I had some meetings this morning. I had some things I had to finish for Ticket to Ride. I also said, if you also need them really quickly, I can move your edit to this evening and then you can have all the edits by tomorrow morning. And I also gave him a discount rate because, you know, it's last minute booking, and they are friends of mine, and then responded saying that they're too busy setting up or something, and that they'll hire me later to do something else, which we'll find out if they do. It would be cool if they do, but bit of an annoying scenario that happened this morning. In other news, I'm off to Falmouth again. I don't know if you've ever been to Falmouth or know what Falmouth is. I don't know if you know if I'm going in Falmouth, and then maybe outside Falmouth. Basically, another friend of mine is looking to get some photos, and I'm just going down to have a chat with her about it. Her name's Alice. She's South African, lives here. she's starting like an online education business. So like she educates businesses on how to create online education or something. I think that's what she does. Basically, we're meeting up for a coffee and having a chat. Kind of what I did yesterday with Pindy. Didn't film anything with Pindy because I was meeting him for the first time, so I didn't want to like shove a camera in his face. I might film, I'll try and film some stuff with Alice because she actually encourages me to do more filming and likes the idea of YouTube, so that was a cool chat with Alice. She is like she like helps people make digital learning things better. If you've ever tried to learn something on the internet, it's usually like just a video or just text, and it's actually quite monotonous and you don't really learn much. So she has this business where she just makes that more not more interactive, but like easier to learn from. It's a potential retainer. We've got job or 2 jobs booked in this month to get some quick stuff done for her, and then January we're going to chat more about retainer stuff. So I'm going to sit down and I need to work out pricing for her, what we can do for her. Extra bonus was while I was in the car, I got an email from Calendly, which if you don't know, I use which is such a hard word to say. I use Calendly on my website. If you ever want to book anything, you can have a call with me and we'll have an hour call and then we can chat about the project that you want to work on. Basically what I did today, but that was in person as opposed to online. But basically this girl has booked a call for a wedding for next year, which is cool. Funny how things are now looking up. Classic. Things I'm working on today include cleaning this kitchen, Pinterest, which is a strange one, it's a new one. When I had my chat with Alice yesterday, she mentioned whether or not I was using Pinterest, and I was like, not really. But then in terms of my wedding photography and trying to get more clients that way, Pinterest actually seems like a pretty decent idea because brides use it for like what their wedding is going to look like. If I start putting photos up there and being very smart with the SEO of the title and everything, people might find me in a different way, doing something different rather than reels and stuff. I also made another reel which went live today. Wedding reels. This is funny because I said to myself I'm not going to be a wedding photographer, but that sort of content hits harder than everything else that I'm posting, which is really funny. But again, if I can get like 12 weddings in the year, I've doubled my income type thing. So I'm not objecting to weddings. I think if it became a legitimate part of my business, then I'd embrace it because I actually enjoyed shooting Fraser and Katie's wedding. I've got a call booked in for next week for someone else's wedding, which is cool. So we'll see. It's obviously it's a direction that I could go in, not what I wanted to do initially. We're doing it. The light is really nice right now, and I've told myself that I need to do this. So we're gonna go walk around and take some photos of some shops, talk to some people, introduce myself to some people, and not be awkward. And get used to doing this in front of people, talking to a camera. Hopefully this is in shot and you can hear me. I've put you on a bridge and I'm just being aware that it's not going to fall off into the water. I went for a walk and I took photos of maybe 4, 5 businesses and went into 2, one of which was a client that I used to work for, which was actually quite beneficial because said he was meaning to get back to me and he's needing some more stills, so that's cool. There's a benefit of going outside and meeting people again. And then took a photo of a bakery and they were closing up shop, so I was like, well, and it was weird, like I felt more confident knowing they were closing, you know, subconsciously, well, they're not going to let me in, so I might as well say. I introduced myself and then they said they're open again tomorrow at 10, so hopefully the light is good tomorrow because I've introduced myself now. But the weird thing is, even after that nice interaction, I went to the next shop along and didn't want to go in, which I don't get. Like, just fucking be normal or confident or whatever. So I've taken a walk just to go for a walk because we're outside and it's not raining, to what they call the wetlands in Nansledden. And the funny thing about this place is it looks like they've built small ponds. There's like 4 or 5 ponds, just basically ditches in the ground. And as far as I'm aware, one of them works, which is the one we're on right now, on this bridge. This is the one that has water and ducks and stuff on it. But the rest just look like they've dug a big hole and like no water, like either the water is seeping into the ground and not staying, or that was the plan all along, was just to have a hole in the ground. It makes no sense. But this bit's really nice. And the sun's coming out again, which the lighting should be nice. It's quite a good spot to vlog from, actually, because it's empty, there's no one around, and I'm outside. So I might come back here more often. I want to get used to talking to the camera out and about, because I think it's good for my self-confidence, not giving a fuck what people think. Apologies for my language. You know, because I enjoy this, but there is that little voice in the back of my head going, like, there's people behind me now walking and I'm aware of them now. There's this little voice in the back of my head being like, you look like an idiot, stop doing it, you look like such a fool, I'll be on Influencers in the Wild or something. But do you know what, like, I really just have to be like, who cares? I mean, I'm telling myself this, but I don't feel that way. I'll start off by coming back down here when it's not so wet at the wetlands and talk to the camera more, because I think it might just make me a little bit more comfortable. I used to be comfortable with doing it because I used to document my band and stuff when we were on tour, and I would put the camera on stage and I'd talk to the camera in front of the band, and I'd talk to the camera on the streets if we were walking to get something or whatever. But I don't know, nowadays I just feel like it's a bit weird and funny. These flies, by the way.